We seem to have lost a rear bar, Daniel.
You're kidding. Oh, fuck.
Oh, mate, what have you done? Oh, no!
Oh, Jesus.
To be honest, no, you're fine.
Okay.
Yeah, you're all good.
You're all good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. That's bad. Yeah. Well, good morning guys. Hope you're all having a cool day. Welcome to the videos. I think this is the first day I have lived in Melbourne where it's been over 32 degrees. It's actually kind of hot. And today we're going to work on the Integra. The last time you guys saw that car, we kind of crashed it into a fence. So today we are heading to Turbo Tristan's workshop and we are going to be getting started on Ronald 2.0. That's right, we're doing some upgrades to Ronald. He's gonna be a fast little unit. Alright guys, we're at Tristan's at the moment and I'm just, first of all, can we just appreciate what you've built here? Let's look at your car first before we get into this thing. Yeah, look at it. What on earth is this? Oh my god. I think I might need to get the 6 up here in a bit.
We can do that. We can look at that. TKO Restorations right here. TT's Restorations.
That's it. If you guys want to go and suss out any of these videos, by the way, Turbo Tristan is going to be helping me with the entire process of getting this horrible little Integra back on the track and in the quickest and cheapest way possible. So I thank you very much. And all of these episodes that you're about to see coming up in the next couple of weeks is all through spoolup.com.au. So all of your Raceworks parts, all of your Premier Auto Trade stuff, all of the stuff that we're going to be putting on this car is all able to be purchased through Spool Up.
Yep.
So I am stoked about that. We're putting some stickers on the car.
We're putting stickers on.
Yes.
We've got all your K-swap parts, all your B-series parts, D-series parts.
We're not K-swapping though, are we? Because B is king.
K is the way. K is the way.
So yes, this is all stuff that he's been doing, and this beautiful Evo 4, I'm so keen to go for a quick little rip on. Before we get into any of that, we're going to look at the Integra, because the title of today's video, you guys will have seen that obviously last weekend we unfortunately crashed good old Ronald. Alex went out for the first session, and we unfortunately had a bit of a bingle with the wall there. So little pointing stick shows all the damage. I am so happy that Alex is okay, because the seat broke. It could have been a lot worse.
Could have been a lot worse.
So I'm glad that Alex is okay. Things happen on track. So either way, car's fine. And realistically, I picked up a bumper for $100, so that's sick. It's gonna rewrap that. And then, sure, you've got some tail lights apparently.
We've got some disgusting tail lights coming, but we'll make them look good.
That's it. The best thing is, are they free?
They are free.
They're free, there you go. So that's always the best kind of parts. And then we can just probably straighten this all out.
Yeah, we'll give that a tap. There's a kink in it there, which will fix that up, and that should pull all that. And then the bit that's concerning is this bit, because we need something to hang the new bumper off.
That's very fair, yep.
So we'll bend that out. It doesn't have to look pretty. It's just got to hold a bumper bar, which doesn't weigh much.
Yep.
But,
and the thing we're putting underneath the bumper should be able to hold it up too, I could imagine.
Definitely, that'll help.
Yeah.
Help push some air up.
Yep.
One thing to note though is, although we did have a crash in the car, at the racetrack is much safer than doing anything stupid on the street.
Oh,
so
definitely.
If this was on the street and he spun out at 100 k's an hour and hit a wall, it could have been a whole other story.
We ended up damaging the driver's seat, which is one thing that I was a little bit concerned about. But either way, it lasted the rest of the day and we were all just like leaning. It was pretty bad. And then the buckled quarter, that's probably the other thing as well, which you can't really see if we move around here, but you can see the quarter's a little bit buckled. But we should be able to pull, once we pull the back out, that should pull most of that quarter out anyway. So once again, it's an $800 race car. And to be fair, I could have picked it up in this condition. I still would have paid $800 for it. Not really too stressed. So the next thing is, we kept driving the car and you found a few issues with the car and what happened that day as well.
So we're going to follow the pointer and I'm going to give you a tour of what happened. So when the car hit the wall, it pushed the exhaust in and it kinked the pipe here, basically kinked the hose for the exhaust. So we had to pull that off, and then there was only 2 places here holding the exhaust up. and then that caused this to scrape on the ground, that to scrape on the ground, and this to scrape on the ground.
Yeah, this is now clearanced. Weight reduction.
Yep, it was getting lighter as the day went on. It actually scraped out the cat on the other side.
I never actually saw this. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. I like that.
And the hero of the day was the aero cut under tray. So you can see here.
This is ripple strip.
This is all ripple strip. Yep. And it's really saved the day.
There's someone had a big hit here. I don't know what that was.
That's a nice one.
Yeah, it's good. So if you guys don't know, my good mates down at Aerocut managed to get this plate on for the first ever track day. It saved our ass that many times. It was like we ended up in the gravel a few times. But this is probably the single most amazing thing that we've done to this car. It's got brake ducts to help with cooling, but you can see how many scrapes we've already put on this thing, and it saves, well, what would normally be a good sump, but the sump at the moment is a bit scraped. That's all beforehand. So
pretty much every Honda I've ever looked at or worked on's missing the under tray, and they're all scraped under here. So that's why you need a alloy bash plate. But the other thing is when the air goes through the radiator, if there's nothing here to hold the air in and pull it through the radiator, it actually just comes straight out the bottom, or the air comes under the car and goes up and creates like all these bad pockets and doesn't actually cool your car. So this is a really good feature that we now have for all the Civics and Integras and plenty of other cars. So check them out. Highly recommend.
Can you get them on your website too? Can you? Maybe.
They're not on my website, but they're on Aerocut's website.
They should be on your website. I don't know. We'll find out. But yes, one of the coolest things is that hopefully with the next round of mods that we're going to be doing, this is going to come into its own because we're going to be putting some vents in the bonnet too.
Yep.
And trying to get some air to go instead of going through and then what would have been down, but now through and just sort of sitting there because we don't have any vents in the bonnet. They're going to be going up, which will alleviate a whole bunch of like positive pressure here and allow it to sort of be the same underneath the car but push all the air up and hopefully in theory be a little bit cooler, which is awesome. Even though we weren't really getting many cooling issues, this thing's been pretty good. It
was alright. We've actually got a thermo fan coming for it. I haven't told you yet. We've got a thermo fan coming.
Okay, alright, Matt.
But with the bottom sealed and a hole in the bonnet, it should actually pull the air through and then suck it out.
Yep, which is sick.
Which is the idea. We've got some things to do. I didn't have the lock nut yesterday, so I started work without Zach. I pulled out half the drive shaft, the lower control arms. We've pulled out the front and rear sway bar, and we're changing the steering rack ends, and we're doing rear sway bar, rear trailing arms, the toe arms, the camber arms. Everything's getting a refresh. So
we are doing absolutely everything. So I guess we can go into, now that we've looked at all the damage, we can go through the whole car. We are going to work out exactly what we're going to be doing. We've had a few ideas as to what we want to do with the car. One of the biggest things is I want Tristan to be able to have some fun and drive this thing as well. So Tristan's doing a lot of work to this car. I also know that when you did the first Budget Enduro, you were a bit scared of this thing. It's a little bit all over the shop.
It was a bit wonky, and that's because just a couple of arms that I've pulled out already, you can see the pushes are, 30 years old, so they definitely needed replacing about 15 years ago. But we're going to do that now, give Ronald a birthday, and he's going to love it.
Oh, he's going to get a absolutely amazing birthday. So, Tristan's pulled all the arms out of it, and also, if you guys don't know, Tristan on the Evo has been getting a whole bunch of really amazing stuff and is able to hook myself up with some incredible companies. Shall we show them what we got?
Let's go over this way and have a look at what we've got.
So this is like out of this world to me, by the way. I've actually never rebushed a car or done anything, and so this is going to probably be the nicest car I've ever had underneath in the world. Look at all of this. This is ridiculous.
So firstly, massive shout out to Super Pro, and this is what we're going to be installing. Now these are for the front control arms. So we've got nice bluey purple blurple urethane bushes, which will take out any movement or wear.
So these are harder than the factory ones, yeah? Theoretically, or are they supposed to be around about the same? But
so they're solid. They've still got some movement in them, which is what you want. Otherwise, everything's going to vibrate and shake on the car.
Yep.
But it also allows everything to articulate a little bit better and harder wearing. And there's no air pockets or anything in there, so it's
the
nice
best thing in. They're not 30 years old, which is the best thing. But Super Pro have come to the party with every single bush they possibly can underneath the car. and that is wild.
Do you want me to quickly?
Yeah, may as well go through the whole lot. Yep.
We've got front control arm, lower inner, rear lower trailing arm bushes, front lower inners. We've got the rear lower control arm, inner and outer. So this is the rear LCA, which I've already taken out.
Already got that out.
Not a lot.
Far out.
Nice and solid. We've got the lateral links, which is the ones for the toe arms in the front. The upper links, which is your camber arms. So we've got those. Front lower control arm inner bushes. So we've got a ton of those. I think some of these might even be offset. We're going to check them out. Rear suspension, lateral trailing arm links as well. And then we've got the rear control arm bush kit as well.
That is absolutely insane.
So
there's so much goodness in all of these. I love it. I've, once again, never rebushed a car. So this is probably going to be the most solid thing I've ever driven in my life. And it's in the cheapest thing I've ever bought.
That's sometimes how it works. We've also got a replacement rear sway bar, which is going to bolt on in place of the factory one, which I was surprised this car comes with a factory one. It's actually
interesting, isn't it?
Big.
It's tiny. Wait, do we have one? Oh yeah, we have one sitting down here at the moment.
Yeah, it's literally...
Oh, it's already starting to scrape. Oh, that's the rear.
That's the rear. That's like my pinky width. Tiny.
What? Okay, that's going to make a massive difference.
Huge.
Yeah, okay, and we're scraping through on the front one, it looks like.
Yep.
Which is mad.
So we're going to have a fatter one here, which is going to help with all turn-in and everything in the front. Got all that off. It's going to be so amazing. This thing is going to be perfect.
That's ridiculous. That is the smallest sway bar I've ever seen in my life.
And all these bushes are just chewed out to the max.
Actually, what a catch. I got that on camera too, that's not bad. Yeah, that's pretty gross. I could imagine all of these are pretty dry rotted and stuff. Oh, they're hard and
flogged and really sloppy.
Yep, far out. So these are so much thicker, it's not funny. Like, ridiculously thicker.
The front ones, basically, when we're putting them on, we'll just do a comparison measure as well.
Yep. We have, full set white line sway bars. Now, we didn't go all the way hectic. This is like mid-hectic. Yeah, so
there is bigger ones.
There is bigger ones.
We're not going to need them.
Yeah. So a lot of the tracks that I'll be driving, especially around Melbourne, the only one that's going to be really, really big and open and wide and sort of utilize the really, really stiff sway bars is Phillip Island, because it has a lot of very fast turns and there's not a lot of bumps on that track. But we go to Sandown, we go to Broadford, Winton, all of those tracks, and maybe even Calder Park soon. All of those tracks are pretty bumpy. So
they are pretty rough. They need a bit of a birthday as well.
Yeah, they do need a bit of a birthday. So my theory is going with something a little bit medium. We can always upgrade to a thicker, a heavier one in the future, but every single one of these tracks have very sharp corners that are all very bumpy. So we're just going to keep with that for a little bit and we'll work from there. I don't know, in my head it works.
It works. It's going to work.
All right, cool.
It's going to work. Trust me, it's going to work.
I want this thing to do low, like high 20s, I reckon.
Yeah.
Like 29s. If I can make this faster than my BRZ,
well, the other thing that's really going to help is the driver mod, and that's where you come in, because
I just have to get better.
No, you can do high 28s.
I'll see how it goes.
Don't know about me, but
if I do a 29, it'll be faster than the Evo, my scared lap of the Evo, so that'd be interesting.
Well, that's how fast my Civic does around there, and that was me being scared and not having the right brakes.
That's it. So in terms of brakes, we also have another set of Protex.
Yep.
So front rotors, rear rotors and pads are fine, but we have another set of rear pads anyway.
I actually ordered rears because we weren't sure what we're going to do with the front, but I think we're going to stay with the front setup and change the pads.
Yep.
So they've got a fresh set of rear Ultra Plus ceramic pads for the rear. Beautiful. And fresh rotors.
Oh, for the rear as well. Cool. Excellent. Yep.
I've got a Clutch Master cylinder, and I've got a Brake Master or a Clutch Slave cylinder. So just make sure we have everything fresh as we can.
All fresh and brand new. Yep.
And we've got the steering rack ends as well from Protex.
Yep.
So no wobbles or vibrations there.
Beautiful. We have a lot more stuff coming.
We do. We've got ball joints coming. Yeah. So top and bottom ball joints in the front, which we need those. We've also got CVs coming as well. So we've got a leaky CV flicking grease everywhere. We don't need that on the racetrack.
That's been like that for the last 1,000 kilometers on track, I think. And I'm just like, I'll replace it when it gets really bad. It's now really bad, so we'll replace it.
It's all tight and bound up. There's no grease in there, so it's kind of like welding itself. So we need to replace that.
I did notice a bit of a noise on track under, heavy torque areas like low second and then like starter third, starter fourth, it started to like grind a little bit. I don't know, that's probably that noise or something. Could have also been the exhaust that was falling off, but who knows.
Race car things.
Yeah, exactly right.
I've got some other surprises for Zach, which I'll talk to him about off camera for this as well, because
Okay, all right.
I'm pulling every string I can to get Ronald as fast as possible.
So also guys, leave down in the comments. We want to see Tristan drive this car as well. So we'll have to do a track day after it's all done.
Yep.
You and I will both be driving. We'll put down in the comments who you think's going to be faster. So one thing I was actually having a look at, like after the race as well, is, and I thought I'd talk about them right now, is the tyres that we were using. These are now 2 Enduros old, and they still have, I reckon, about 50% tread on the entire thing. I can't say the same for, how many heat cycles they've been through now, because they're probably hard as rock. So I'll quickly show you these. This is after 3 track days now. So they actually still look impressive. There's so much meat in the middle. I honestly think we could, it'd be a good test taking these exact tires out that actually ran they ran a 34, didn't they, Tristan? They did run a 34. Naughty 34. Unfortunately, she ran quicker than we anticipated. Thank you, Jacob. So the goal is, I reckon once we do all this, we'll take it out with the same tyres, see how they go, and then we'll probably upgrade to, I don't know, we might go to something a little bit more hectic. In the talks with a few people at the moment to see in regards to what we can do. I don't know, I haven't even told you about this, have I? All right, cool. I'm gonna tell Tristan off camera. Ooh, it's gonna be spicy, trust me. Alright, so now the wheels are off, we can have a look at just how bad these are. I don't know if you can see in the light. Quickly grab my phone out, which I smashed yesterday. First phone I've ever smashed, but I did a bloody good job of it. Look at that. Anyway, you guys can see just how bad these were. Unfortunately, we ran them on no pad. So poor JT last weekend was driving it, and then he's like coming in, had 0 brakes whatsoever, and then yeah, we pulled the pads off, and sure enough they were on the metal, and turns out we also wrecked the discs as well. So we're going to get a new set of discs on this, make sure that doesn't happen again. The rears are looking pretty good, aren't they? They're not too bad.
Rears are mint.
We do have another set of rears, but we'll keep them as spares, may as well. And then yeah, but we're going to be doing all new bushes, we're obviously doing bushes, bearings as well through this car too. So front's getting new bearings, rear's getting new bearings, that side there's getting a new CV entirely, a new axle. This side here is staying the same, but yeah, all of this is all going to get replaced because they're loosey-goosey, ridiculous. And all these brake ducts as well, or heat shields or whatever they are all going to get cut off too, so we can try and get some more air to the back there as well, so should be good. I'm just going to keep disassembling this. Tristan's going to smash out the rear, and then yeah, should be all good.
My specialty.
Your specialty.